Hey there! Did you know Baker's always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices? And when you download the Baker's app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Baker's today. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, yo, this is Big Daddy Kane, and you're listening to another hot interview on The Library with Tim Einenkel on rapstation.com.
While the parents and the teachers and everybody trying to bring to the kids, the young generation, yo, what's the deal, bro, Charlie Brown? What's the deal, Charlie? I don't know what the deal is. You have to ask my partner, Dinco D. Yo, tell us, D. Tell us, D. Confusion, G. Oh, word, what's up? Hey, oh, man. It's just another case of that OPTA. Oh, man.
The school I wrote notes to quotes from Shakespeare and other types of rhymes to show you that I care. For things like Together Forever to You're My Only One.
Only
it
one.
was special, I could say it was a loving one. You would say someone's knocking at my window.
Knock, knock.
Someone's ringing my bell.
Ding dong.
It's about 2 in the morning.
Yo, G, what the hell?
With hits like Scenario, Case of PTA, and the International Zone Coaster, what else can I say about my next guest? He's from Uniondale, Long Island, and was introduced to us as the member of the great group, Leaders of the New School. He has continued working on his craft, and as a student and teacher of hip-hop culture, he's just released his latest album, Cameo Flows, featuring Charlie Brown, who's here with us today. Dinco D, welcome to the library with Tim Einenkel at rapstation.com.
What's going on?
Thank you so much.
Strong Island in the house, Queens in the house. We at the spot right here in Queens at my man DJ Elron. He produced the joint Murders and Numbers. That's where we at in Queens, right here.
It's incredible.
So it's all you got part of the CD right here.
There's always this debate, and you guys please talk about it as well. But the state of hip hop, like, what is the state of hip hop? Is it lacking because of there's lack of diversity?
Nah,
radio, or what is your stance?
It's a different, it's different mediums now, man. I mean, it's actually grown. We've seen it as a baby, so it's not like every other music where we could, rock, soul, jazz, that's been here already, been here for decades. Now we got a new brand of music and we watching it grow. We still molding it.
Cameo Flows is out now. As mentioned, it features an all-star cast of people. For you, what was the purpose of the album? The overall purpose of this album?
The purpose of this album was that I've done so many songs over the years that I was like, I have to get this music out. You know what I'm saying? A couple people always see them. I'll be like, yo, I'm going to get this album tight. I'm going to get it right. Like, nah, man, just put your music out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel better getting my music out and getting behind it and pushing it. So, instead of just waiting for the right time and waiting for the right perfect moment and situation, I'm just putting my music out and working it and living with it and making it and let it speak for itself.
When Sunflower came out, was the first single that you dropped.
Yeah.
And now I'm listening to the complete album, and I feel like there's so many songs that could have been the first single of the album.
Yeah. And that's a problem with leaders like us, you know what I'm saying? We always made so many dope songs, it was hard to pick what's the single going to be? What's this one going to be? So, it gets hard, but I tried to make every song as big as it could be so it can be on its own, you know what I'm saying? Instead of making a sequence album and having highs and lows, I always wanted the lows to be as high as the highs, you know what I'm saying? Like that, basically.
See, I'm going harder, heading home. Get a life from face death. Every time you face me, think about your last breath. Love a chick who's loving it. Hate a cat covering it. I'm only going to tell you once. After that, it's past tense. Only thing stopping you is only me watching you.
Package handler. You, for me, it was like you just go in on attack mode.
Yeah, that was my man John Doe up in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? He made that track. And he always comes with that funk. Matter of fact, me and Brown worked with him a couple times. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple songs with him. He's dope. He's a dope producer. And that was one of those vibes. Like me and him, like the track wasn't no straight hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And it was still hard though, and it moved. And I like the motion in that song. I love that song. And that was my man Cass. He's from Connecticut. You know, it was just a vibe. We was around each other, and that song came out. We even going back and forth at the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a nice little exchange right there.
Thieves keep hearing songs a week. A couple of bucks, buckets, sluts, duckets for a fucking beat for me to cuss too much. It ain't a thing. Too hard once again. Bring pain. Go inside the astral plane.
Is that more like is that an example for you as like lyrical exercise in a way, or just kind of are you like testing your limits as an MC or?
I'm always testing myself. That was just a fun record, and I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Verbally, I like to go beyond myself.
Before I get on,
You make me happy, yeah. This is the truth. Yeah. You stood right beside me, yeah. When I had no end.
samples, or I guess he does the Frankie Beverly track. Before I Let Go, what influence has Frankie Beverly has on your career musically and you as a person musically?
Oh, come on, man! I've had his records. You know what I'm saying? I know his records. I had Before I Let Go in the Crib. You know what I'm saying? I had that album that it was on. What was the name of that album? B? You remember? I forgot the name of it. You know, you usually good at that, man.
Frankie Beverly, this is C. Brown. Frankie Beverly had like a lot of different hits, but Before I Let Go was his staple, which got his band a lot of gigs, and they constantly tour around the country, you know what I'm saying? But they had an influence on Dinco, I would say, because of him and his father's record collection that he had in the basement. Is a lot of soul, a lot of jazz, a lot of soundtracks, movie soundtracks, and you know that the Before I Let Go, the joint that he flipped it in a new way. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that if you go to any party, you know, whether it be in L.I., Queens, Brooklyn, Uptown Harlem, the Bronx, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, anyway, Yonkers, all of that, or Jersey, or Connecticut, you play that record Before I Let Go, and everybody's like, oh, school, that's my jam, you know? So I think he wanted to capture that moment as well, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, that's my jam. It's like you're giving them something new with something old, and that's been a formula that, you know, we've incorporated with all of our music. If you listen to Busta Rhymes, he's used that formula as well. And you ain't really heard anything from my own stuff, my own stash yet. But I will be coming with some stuff. But Dink definitely captured it on that song. I was listening to it on the way here from picking him up. Mm-hmm. We would listen to it in the car, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't hear that song until today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I heard, and I've heard, you know, hundreds of songs and beats that Dinko's created over time, you know, but he definitely captured something old with something new, took it to that next level, and that's what, you know, that's a formula that keeps hip-hop artists relevant, and it creates an audience of, you know, there's no stigma on their age group. You know what I'm saying? Because if they hear, like what you said when you asked them the question, you posed the question to them, you said, you know, Before I Let Go, what kind of influence has Frankie Beverly had on it? Frankie Beverly's influenced hip-hop. Right. I mean, there's people that have taken that song, whether it be the title, the chorus, the music, over the years. You know, Steady B used it back in the days. He actually played the bass line on his album. You know what I mean? Keith Murray, I believe, used Before I Let Go. So the time is, it went from the 80s, from when the record came out, to 2016, 2017, on the cusp of 2017, and it's going to be here forever. Just like Dink's music, you know what I'm saying? It's something that's timeless.
For both of you, I mean, the Charlie Brown and Dinco D, when you guys are creating music that when you're creating music, how do you know it's going to be timeless? Like, I mean, do you consciously go into that being like,
well, I just explained to you the formula. The formula to success for us has been using something that's old, putting your new spin on it, and taking it to the next level through your lyrical content, your chorus of the song, or a bridge in the song, or having some scratching in the song, to give it that next level push, that next understanding to it, and that formula will be successful forever because the original pioneers are the ones who use that formula. If you listen to their routines and the way that they used to put their routines together, they would take a popular melody from a pop record or something and flip it and harmonize it into a hip-hop, on a hip-hop tip. They weren't the best singers, but they would harmonize and it would give it that soul that it needed and change the lyrics up. So people were like, yo, I know that song, right, but I don't know the lyrics to it. So something new, but I know it. I know the melody of it. Melody is very important in creating, an elaborate song structure mode to where people can digest the music and get that fusion of all the mixtures of old and new together,
Has that formula, have that actually become, it seems like record labels are cracking down on sampling. Has that become harder to do?
Everybody doesn't know that formula because they don't want to pay respect to history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These new artists don't know that formula. What they'll take is old. Old to them is Biggie and Tupac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Old to leaders of the new school is, Grandmaster Flash and the Treacherous Three, the Cold Crush Brothers, the Disco Four, the Fearless Four, groups like that came up in those times. Dinco, is a product of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it was necessary for him to show that individually he could put out a project along with the people like he's met along the way that influenced his vibe and gave him the right energy to create a product that can be relevant today as it would be relevant yesterday, or it'll be relevant for tomorrow's to come. You know what I'm saying? So, but everybody doesn't know that formula. So some of them, they don't sample. Right. They don't, but they'll sample vocally. Like they'll take out of somebody's lyrics, they'll take something that was catchy and use it as their chorus. Right. Biggie, 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 can't you see? That's Slick Rick. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So those are, the artists that came up in the 90s, when we came out, they were still using those formulas. And those formulas can still work today, but the new artists, they're on their own tip. I think with the help of technology and the audience expanding, that they've forgotten about that. But there always will be artists that cherish what you can bring to the table on a new level using something old like that, and it'll be successful. And then you'll have the new artists that don't even touch it at all, and it'll be successful, but to the old heads, it'll be like, that ain't the formula, really. That ain't really kicking in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really feeling that shit. I'm not feeling the way that the beat is, or the lyrics are, the chorus, or they're not feeling the elements to the song that, make it pop so that the DJ will play it. The DJs are the ones that dictate, what's popping. Most DJs that you'll hear in the metropolitan area will give you the flavor that I'm talking about on the weekends, where they'll dig in the crate and throw some dope shit on, something classic that people will remember. And some of the new fans that are listening to stuff like Fetty Wap and the new artists that are out today, they'll be like, oh, that was catchy or whatever. Even with him, Fetty Wap, for instance, he's not doing nothing that's brand new, but he's not doing nothing that's old either. Right. He's using his soul to sing the hooks And he's not the substance is not like there's not like a crazy substance or subject matter he's talking about. He's just doing what he does. That's part of the new generation.
Put his soul on it, like you said. It's his new form of soul music. He put that soul in it. So
Cameo Flows shows that he has songs like that on there where a combination of he uses Maine, right?
Right.
Maine is somebody he's worked with who's part of the Big East, which is an ensemble with Dinco, Big H, and Maine. And he has somebody who sings the hooks, and Dinco and H handle the rhyme part.
He brings a lot of soul to that group. Like the Big East album is definitely crazy. Like, working with a singer, you know what I'm saying? It's just like producing beats, working with a keyboardist or working with a band. You know what I'm saying? You learn to bounce off each other, just like we bounce off each other lyrically. Me, him, and Buster. You know what I'm saying? You start building a DNA with the groups and different things that you resource around. You know what I'm saying? Different records that you have in your crate, different records that you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Just like when my father's basement. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying, my collection. Like he had a collection, a lot of knowledge because his brother was a DJ. You know what I'm saying? He had mad resources to play off and knowledge to gain from that. So, it's what you around.
Speaking of it, I mean, you two are on Worried by Numbers, right?
My lady driving the whip and we ain't broke. No laws, keep score, watch out for the homicide. Force my hand, my man, if we collide. Take heed, food for thought, my youngin'. The next time you hear the sirens coming, the lights steady flashing. Hold your square as we fly right past you.
How do you guys keep challenging each other? Like when you both are in a booth?
That song. That was easy. That was right here, man. DJ L. Ron was
DJ L. Ron, the Sound King, came up with he had the track here, right. And I had the concept for the record in my head. But I kicked it to Dinco, and I told him the concept about
right.
And
it's like bow. And that's what we used to do. Right? We're a concept crew. Yeah. Chuck taught us that. You know what I'm saying? We
Chuck D from Public Enemy. He's the one who showed us about concepts, having
stuff, and how to combine it with it.
Concept,
but we wanted to bring
lyrics,
the fun
attitude,
to it.
Music, and performance.
Right.
He showed us a system of how to approach being an artist.
Right.
And being a lyricist and being a performer
and being a
meaningful, producer, right?
And have a meaning behind what you stand for and make a stain on society to make sure they know who you are and what you about.
That's right. You got to constantly remain relevant. And the Murder by Numbers record, it was really easy. Once I had the concept, it was like Murder by Numbers. It was like, wow. Even though I know the title, somebody else used the title. There was a movie called Murder by Numbers. Actually, Sting from The Police, he had a song called Murder by Numbers. But I was like, Murder by Numbers, that kind of fits what's going on right now. I was like, and with the music, I was like, it fits what's going on right now with the police killing black people and getting away with it.
It's crazy.
And doing illegal searches.
Mistrials, come on, it's crazy.
So it was like, to have that song to be a part of his project was like,
dope.
We had it.
It just fit perfect. You know what I'm saying? Whenever whatever song we do is good, but just for the project, that song felt perfect for, you know what I'm saying, for the project, for me and him. It just fit so well.
So you guys have this friendship and also a working relationship where, you obviously know that the concept you came up with was going to be perfect for something that...
Yes, definitely. Brown always, we read each other. We know each other's words coming out of our mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're around somebody so long, that's why the formula works so good. So, we always, whenever we around each other, the juices flow, music gets done, it gets produced, and it's just good.
The track Black Pirate King freestyle.
Hey, I'm just the next one to go. The D-I-N-C, skip a row, add a D, it's me. In the same lane, doing the same thing, gang.
Raise the proud penman, new style again. That pen hits the back, perception from within.
That's freestyle?
Yeah, it wasn't. It actually wasn't a freestyle. I don't know if Money B, but I don't think nobody. It was like it was freestyle because it was rhymes that. You know what I'm saying? You just go off on free. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, that was an answer. I was going to ask if it was a freestyle or a concept.
And then there's freestyle in it. Like
Pose the question.
Words.
Pose the question. I'm gonna ask you, Dink, this.
What?
And I'm gonna ask you as well. What is freestyle? Is it coming off the top of your head and being able to put words and metaphors together and punchlines together right off the top of your head? Or is it, like I heard Big Daddy Kane say, which was interesting, a rhyme that you wrote at home that you memorized and you kicked it freely in a cipher?
Right.
That was going on.
Right,
is that
perfectly.
a freestyle? So it's both because KRS will tell you that freestyling is coming off the top of your head, and that's the teacher too. You know what I'm saying? They're both masters, but they have different ways,
styles,
ways of looking at the same topic. And I thought that was very interesting. So I would say that if you listen to Black Pirate King James,
and how we rhyme, like if you an MC, you get to a point where you like, instead of me just babbling something, let me just I freestyle and I'll say some words off at the top, but I'll mix it, you know what I'm saying, make sure that it's entertaining, man, and it's not just, it means something.
Yeah, that was when I was listening to it, I was like, it's either freestyle the two ways you said it was either there's a freestyle element to it. It depends on what I guess school of thought you have in terms of what defines a freestyle.
Yeah, and then it was something new, so it was I was free to just do what I wanted to do on that, man, and it was fun. I let everybody go. We didn't have no plan, so it was just a momentary thing. We just all went in. We didn't know what we was going to do, and we just went in straight on the mic.
I make moves, break fools, then skate smooth. I make a fake move, you lose. Whoever's late, they snooze. Think you does what you do, cause you leaving no clues. You just as clumsy as Scooby on Scooby-Doo. I make music so the vibe right, long into the nightlife.
The track music, you talk about it.
Oh, man, that's my man Jack Beasley. What you was going to say?
No, I think it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album.
I love that song.
But I'm going to say that's about every song on the album. So, I know you talk about it on this track, but what purpose do you think music should? What purpose does music serve in your life? And then how do you try to the
feeling. If you listen to that song, the feeling, music. You know what I'm saying? That song is dope, man. I was just what my rhyme means to me. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? The way I flip words and play with words, the beats, and it feels good, man. I love it. I wouldn't change this occupation for nothing.
I talked about it prior to our interview, but I said one thing I do appreciate about the album is that there's so many things happen musically. There's like singing, there's horns, there's guitar, there's scratching. Right. Why is that? Why for this album? Why did you want to not just be like a straight, hip hop album? You wanted to have something.
Because that's the thing that I've never really been just a straight hip hop dude. Like, man, I've always enjoyed music, man. I grew up listening to jazz. You know what I'm saying? I grew up playing in my father's jazz records in his collection, funk and soul records. You know what I'm saying? He was part of my memory bank. You know what I'm saying? Feeding me one of my resources that, you know what I'm saying, I had to go to. So I listened to everything, and I wanted to always be able to combine it. In this album, I like that you can't, everybody, there's something for everybody. You can't say it's a boom bap. Mm-hmm. This is that boom bap shit. You can't say, this is that corny singly music. You know what I'm saying? You can't, it's not one direction. It's universal, so I just wanted to go everywhere. I like trying to make a new lane. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I mean, that kind of goes back to, I know I've read on this, but you talk about your dad's jazz collection. I think,
yeah, man.
And I think what kind of stands about, I guess, today's generation, hip hop generation, is that, and versus you guys, is that you did have rap artists to look up to, but it wasn't. But rap is not where it is, where it was.
Nah, it's millions now. Now kids have grown up, and our first music wasn't hip hop, right? It wasn't, right? We grew up in the 70s. I was born in 71, so by 79, 80, I already had a memory bank of nothing hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It was soul, funk, jazz, R&B. You know what I'm saying? Classic. It was classics. It was joints.
So you think that's like? I mean, do you
that's
think
a big difference to me in today, because you got the new generation of hip hop kids who, I mean, they get some of that different type of music, but they've always had hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know a world without rap music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think when you say hip hop has to, if you create hip hop music, you know what I'm saying? It's really rap music, you know what I'm saying? But if you create it and you want to label it hip hop, it has to have the elements in it. Right. DJing. Yeah, it has to have some flavor where it takes you to the graffiti writing, you know what I'm saying, DJing, MCing, and b-boying or rocking on the floor, you know what I'm saying, from that aspect. You know, or beatboxing, or, you know, the elements of hip hop. It should encompass that from a visual and from a historical base. You know what I mean? This generation hasn't grown up without knowing their parents are listening to hip hop.
Right.
They're listening to rap music. You know what I'm saying? They're listening to these elements and they're going on. So they don't really know a world without it. So sometimes they can't go back further than 1997 when actually the first records I would say that were recorded are 78, 79, where they had actual cats rapping to beats and putting it down, bringing it forth. You know, bringing the culture forward.
Charlie, you talked about earlier about how, like Chuck D from Public Enemy, kind of mentored you.
Not kinda. He gave me my name. You know what I'm saying? There would be no Charlie Brown without Chuck D.
And if you look at today's generation, do you think there's a disconnect between kind of this school of artists versus the older school of artists? And if there is one,
there's difference. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's a chip on the younger guy's shoulder saying, "Oh, you an old head. Right. You know, get off the fucking block." You know, they want to be on that tip. You know what I'm saying? You taking money out of my pocket. They look at it like that, where as the culture is so diverse and the audience has expanded so much that there's room for all of it, to be honest with you. Except for some of the older artists I would say that they were not getting their fair share of. They're making really good conscious records with substance, and they're not getting record play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not getting the spins, the BDSs that some of the new artists are. But that's the game. When I was coming out with Dinco D and Busta Rhymes and Milo, they weren't playing Fearless 4 records. You know what I'm saying? They weren't. They were playing in '90. They were playing BDP and Brand Nubian and Tribe Called Quest and Main Source. Pete Rock and CL Smooth came with their EP. You know, Poor Righteous Teachers, Special Ed. You know, the list goes on and on. Positive K. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many artists out there. Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? You know, just. You know, everybody that was coming out like in the 80s, in the late 80s, from I'd say 86 on, those golden years at the mid 80s, from Run DMC really on to the 90s, you know what I mean? The early 90s was like a really golden period of sampling kicks and snares and using really choice samples and having really good rhyme structure and having real good patterns. And the thing about it is, if the new artists would just listen to some of what these who mentored us, Chuck D, if they would just listen to some of the guys who they look up to and mentored, then the reflection would be a more balance in some of the sounding records, or having a project like a Dinco D, Cameo Flavors. You know what I'm saying? Where you can't pigeonhole him into one hole. Right. It's not just a boom bap album. It's not just a new age album with, you know, just beats that are everywhere and just everybody's rhyming and going everywhere with it. It has an angle, And I think he, you know what I'm saying, he pulled it off, you know what I'm saying? And I think there's other artists that do it too, but it's special for him because he comes from a, you know, iconic base. It's not like people don't know who Leaders of the New School is, and if they don't know who Leaders of the New School is, then they damn sure know who Busta Rhymes is. And that's the foundation that we, you know, were able to establish back in we're actually a group from the 80s that came out in the 90s. So we had to evolve as we were moving along. He never stopped thinking from the lessons that were taught to us from the studio 510 with Chuck D and the Bomb Squad. You know, he never stopped implementing those ideas and those concepts to working with other people. You know what I'm saying? So he can work with any other artist and still have his stamp to let you know, like, yo, this is me. I have something to say, and I have a foundation and a method that I apply to my music and my lyrics and my rhythms that I rhyme in, my cadences, that gives me a special and unique spot in hip-hop.
Going off of that, do you think, I mean, with you releasing your new album, with Tribe releasing a new album, with De La releasing a new album, I feel like hip-hop is in this generation. You know, it's not, I don't know, uncharted territories waters is the thing, but do you feel like this movement by artists of your generation is breaking down that barrier that that kind of younger generation feels?
Of course, piece by piece, and each person is a level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, for Busta, and see, coming from Busta's, he's come from, you know what I'm saying, from our foundation, and for him to be one of the prodigies and iconic dudes that he is, the last through all of this, it just shows, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it gives other cats inspiration, because it gives me inspiration, you know what I'm saying? To be able to reinvent yourself and carry what we have and make it fit every time and every, you know what I'm saying? To make it fit every generation, every year after year. So, I mean, De La came back, you know what I'm saying? Tribe came back. A lot of other cats is coming back. I see like Edo G's coming back with a new album. Right. Common, still, he's bringing it. Master Ace, you know, me, you know, and you know we got some, and we got some leader songs that we working, you know, to take it to another level.
I always want to quickly go back to the album.
Yes,
you sample one of my favorite songs in the world because I sung it for 6th grade graduation. We Are the World.
Yes. Yo, that's by my man DJ Rob Flow.
As the world turn and melt, burns, feel it in my next term. This is what the people want. Give it to them, yes, firm. Grasp the oats, spare the wheat, rise to the occasion. Break the bread, spread the beat. Shieldly explaining, no one man should carry all the weight from being ready while the rest wait in line. I'm uplifting every heavy.
DJ Rob Flow, that's actually my partner who we putting this out independently. You know what I'm saying? Me and him put this project together. He's a great dude. He did like the Leaders classic mixtape for me. He does a lot of my mixtape work and a lot of production. And I've been working with him. He actually produced Sunflower.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? So he's a key, vital protein to this whole thing right here. He's definitely one of the pieces of glue that made Cameo Flows what it is right now.
Why did you decide to bring kind of We Are the World to 2007, 2016?
I mean, because it's just like Murder by Numbers with Brown. It fit for the time. It's perfect. You know what I'm saying? It took it to the next level with a bunch of dope MCs that's on it. You know what I'm saying? You know, vice versa. Genesis B. There's just so many people on this album. Like, the names just keep coming. DJ Rob Flow. Everybody. It's a lot of people, man. And they bring, you know, Minx. There's a lot of different people, and they bring their different flavor and their consciousness on that record. And it's a, you know, and just like I had records with like Scenario or Spontaneous, it was one of those joints, you know, you got to have that joint on there. That was part of the formula. So it just fit perfect.
Cash flow steady on my block like bullets. Young gods rock hard, so they might bullet. Young minds we mold, small times we sold. Graduate to olds packaged up inside homes. Cycle so vicious.
You and Charlie Brown have obviously been doing this for a good amount of time, and you're strong. You guys are continuing to be strong lyrically and musically. But I was curious, was there ever an artist that you worked with, because you worked with so many, that was like the first time you remember that you got in the booth and he or she spit something, and then you realized you had to kind of step up your lyrical game because you were in the booth with them?
Well, I'm speaking for myself. I'll let Brown talk. But when I got around Brown, you know what I'm saying? Brown was lyrically tight. You know what I'm saying? I was really kind of fresh to the game, but he'd been rhyming before me for a minute, and he had been around it. You know what I'm saying? And him and Busta when I first met them. You know what I'm saying? They both made me step my game up. Like, damn, I'm around two titans right now. These dudes, they got their shit together. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got to work, but it was, you know, you learn from the best. So it was great to be able to learn from them. But I mean, I've had other influences like Rakim. You know what I'm saying? I never really got to see him in a booth, but just listening to his music and hearing it on the radio for the first time, he made me say, yo, he makes this feel like as comfortable as you want to be on the mic. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, you know, we come with routines and anthems, but his flow was like, if I could master that flow of just being calm and sounding with authority on the mic and meaning what I say, that's one of the flyest, you know what I'm saying? One of the flyest dudes in the game. But I'll let Brown tell it.
Paid in Full came on a couple of weeks ago. Sunday, New York City radio was playing it for some reason, and I was like, it's just, and to me it was just effortless, like, you know, it's like, but amazing, yeah.
To be around dudes, I have to say Chuck influenced me the most, because when you first start, everybody starts off and very few that I know people start off and they just great, just have the knack and had it all down pat. When I heard Chuck and I heard him put out, gotta check out the radio guy, I was like, all right. But when I saw him develop his style over the years and being versatility and watching him in the booth and all of that, that was a big influence to me. But the influence of Dinco and Busta and us having writing sessions together, and then going to do a record like Scenario and being around Phife Dawg, rest in peace, you know, and Q-Tip, you know, there's different stages of it. You get to the point where you're practicing it, and then you get to the point where you're practicing it, but it's like a lawyer or a medical physician. You know what I'm saying? You have a practice, but when it's time to perform surgery, you come there with the elements and you perform a task. There's a task at hand for you to perform, and you do it with excellence and grace. You know what I'm saying? That's the Scenario record. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody came with their pieces, but it fit together. We made it fit and made it mean something. That is a timeless piece of artwork.
And we made sure, and each person made sure that you was inspired or influenced to do better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You couldn't come behind.
When he said Bo knows this and Bo knows that, I had to come after him. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's how it was. It's like, you know, we don't create a situation where it wasn't a situation where it was like, oh, he tried to shit on me, man. No. He shitted on the mic.
Right,
he shitted
Mike, that I gotta come back and clean up and shit on again for the next one.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta clean this thing and shit
I was like, it's just yes, y'all. Who got the vibe? It's the tribe, y'all. Real live, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live. We here, you know what I'm saying? I like the rest all doo-doo. They ain't shit. Then Dinco comes with them. The D to the O, the middle I-N-C. And then the video shows like how we incorporated it and made it a business. Right. We took care of business. Like EPMD say, strictly business, you know what I'm saying? Because the game is 90% business, 10% show. So you got to be on top of your business. You got to be on top of your business, you know what I'm saying, as far as creatively and as far as mathematically and on paper, as far as what you're obligated to and what you're responsible for. Because if you're responsible for what you know and what you don't know in the game, you know what I'm saying? So your job is to gain as much knowledge as you can and then be a practitioner of using wisdom, you know what I'm saying, of yourself, learning from the mistakes that you make as well as the ones made by others, you know what I'm saying, to come and consistently put out good artwork, good song structures and have a great stage show so that people want to come see you to create a following, you know. But those records back in the 80s really taught you how to rhyme. I was listening to Cameo D and the Treacherous Three, and there's a rhyme. I don't know his rhyme, but Special K, right? Everybody always like Cameo D. But I listened to Special K, and he said a rhyme without rhyming. If you check out, it's called Gotta Rock. It's called Gotta Rock. He made it feel like it was rhyming. The words are rhyming. So it's like, you know, when you have an appreciation and a love for it, you can go back in the crate and pull out a record, and it'll take you to that point in time, like you said with Rakim and Paid in Full. We from Strong Island, so, you know, Rakim is our hero. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? He put Long Island, you know, between Bismarck, that's Bismarck. Between Bismarck, EPMD, Rakim, Public Enemy, De La Soul, right there, they put, you know, and Prince Paul from Stetsasonic, you know what I'm saying, cats like that. We had to come behind them. Yeah, man. We had to come behind them. So we had no choice but to lay something down that was official. Yeah, man. That great way to say it, Dink. Official.
One more question. I feel like I could talk for hours with you guys.
Of course.
So I know there was a tweet that went out by someone. I saw you retweeted. It said, "My Xmas wish is some new leader of the new school in 2017." So the question, of course, has to be, is that going to happen?
I mean, it's in the process. You know, we did the Hot for the Holidays last year. So
it's like this.
We got
material already in the can. You know what I'm saying? That's done. You know what I'm saying? Some songs that are done. It's just got to flow. It's just got to flow. The flow of the schedule and everything happening. We're in different times. You know what I mean? Because before it was easier for us to work on material because this, you know, we were all on the same page and we were all around each other constantly. But now that, you know, we're at different levels at life, you know what I'm saying? Dinko's a father. You know what I'm saying? Buster's a father. I'm not a father, but I'm an uncle. You know what I'm saying? So
Uncle B.
So we,
Ice Cream B.
But we got some stuff ready though for the world to hear, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Leaders in the new school.
We just did the We Home joint on Buster's mixtape, and that was a great vibe.
Oh hell yeah, man!
That was the spark of energy. You know what I'm saying? Black Milk produced that. That was a great energy, man. A lot of cats loved that record, and it was a good vibe, man. And you know, we had a little run off for that, so we just got to finish it up, touch some things up. Time just got to fall in place for each record, each space,
and then it's gonna be on and popping like popcorn. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like you sitting in the movie theater, just watching it go down. You know what I'm saying? Life stories. You know what I'm saying? And the great times that we come up with our energy and bring something special to the game. You know. And show respect to the elders, you know, and show these new cats how we put it down in our own special way.
The great Charlie Brown and the great Dinco D. New album is Cameo Flows. Charlie Brown and Dinco D, thank you so much for joining me in the library with Tim Einenkel on RapStation.com.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And God bless, man. Word is born for the new year.
Everyone. Thank you, Tim, for making it. Me and you, it's been a minute. We've been trying to work this interview for about a year now, right?
And for everybody.
It's been about a year, but it's here. You know, timing, man. And you came in a great time and a great energy right here in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Live in the studio, working on new things.
Right off Linden.
Got some stuff. So, you know.
Yeah, man. And
shout out to DJ Rob Flo. Shout out to everybody on the album. DJ L. Ron. Big shout out to LP. He ain't in the house, but he in the house.
Spirit,
you know?
Word is born. And if for those that don't know, you can buy Dinco D. You can buy Dinco D Cameo flavors at iTunes, right?
Cameo Flows, iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple iTunes, all of that. Cameo Flows, Dinco D Instagram, Dinco D Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's right here, man.
There it is, man. Dinco D, the legendary from the LONS.
Murder by numbers. Murder by numbers. Murder by numbers. Murder by numbers. Let's ride, y'all. and be free to live. Murder by numbers, something gotta give. Now police kill blacks and get off scot-free. I can't breathe, chokehold on the killing spree. They still hanging folks way down in Mississippi with ropes and chains. We fighting against the inner mind state, your case like Ferguson. They draw gat, looking shook and nervous, son. Things gotta change, looking at me strange. We at the gun range, ready to take aim. I respond, I'm sovereign. You lost, now it's my turn. Harassing me, son. It's like whenever I burn trees on the scent. Oh no, you smell smoke. But my lady driving the whip and we ain't broke. No laws, keep score, watch out for the homicide. Force my hand, my man, if we collide. Take heed, food for thought, my youngin'. The next time you hear the sirens coming, the lights steady flashing. Hold your square as we fly right past you without a care. Murder by numbers, 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 murder by numbers. Yeah. Next up, I believe that's me, the next black man to get his ass BAT by one of these offenders of our community. Bad enough, I gotta dodge this gang activity, and practically all I want is PACE. Only protection I get is condoms by the 3. My magnum's imaginary, but don't test me, or I'll go batty and bury your ass like Joe Pesci. I ride blocks inside cops, facing sideways, pull out and drive up until they all in my face. By the time I look, evidence destroyed, the weed smoke. No guns, no knives, no bags of dope. They let us go after searching and checking, feeling and rubbing, smelling and looking, coming up with nothing. Not today, they won't be yelling bingo. Ain't you the brother of the drug dealer that they call Dinco? Do your homework, maybe find some answers for yourself. It's your job, informants ain't nothing but the help. Butlers of the man, maids of no honor, lazy DTs, they stalk us like a number. 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2. It don't take no college degree to know the math that you use. It's a tactical scheme. It was passed down the line before Martin had a dream. The dots you connect intersect with a red beam. I talk low, you say it's loud. I start to wonder. The conversation ends, yeah, murder by a number.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, which means mornings don't suck now. Unless you don't get that cinnamon sugar ooey gooey frosting deliciousness. Get to Wendy's for the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP, LLC.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.